So I'm going to give my opinion on an issue that really, for the life of me, confuses me. And I know that it kind of sounded unorthodox in how it was said by me, but oh well. I can't necessarily wrap my mind around, what is it, 95% of African Americans being voters of the Democratic Party. Now, I have conveyed in previous videos my stances on a couple of issues. I'm pro same-sex marriage. I oppose the death penalty. I think women should always have the right to have an abortion. And that, that last one is mainly due to the fact that I really believe as a male I have no role in determining that. So I guess I wouldn't want my lawmakers to pick that out either. But whatever. So those are my stances, and those generally align with the Democratic Party. But my problem with the party right now is that, I look at that side. You have Clinton and Sanders. The problem with Clinton, and I'm going to admit, the only people kept saying that if you opposed her, you never wanted a female president. You were sexist. You couldn't stand to have one. And no, that actually was the main reason, above anything else, I would support her over Sanders. That was the legitimate single thing she had over Sanders. And what's even more disturbing about that is if Elizabeth Warren, who chose to not run, decided to run and, was in Sanders' place, that wouldn't even be an issue. I would be wearing just 100%. Or wouldn't have that conflict. And I got over it months ago when I realized that you have to support a candidate for more than just what defines their sex. I wanted to say what's in between their legs, but that seems too suggestive. And I'm getting at is I'm hinting at gender, but whatever. So, and excuse me if anyone found it inappropriate. With Sanders, social positions I can get behind. The tax thing I'm not too big on, but whatever. And the biggest kind of drawback was his age. Again, he would be the oldest person ever elected if he won. And what I'm getting at is both of these candidates are 65 plus. You go over to the Republican side, you have Cruz who's 45, you have Rubio who's 44, you had Jindal who's also 44, whatever. You have these young people on that side. And what I'm getting at is you also have the older candidates such as Trump and Bush and Kasich and Carson. So what I'm trying to convey is that I have such a hard time being excited about the Democrat side when there's only two people. They're both around the same age. One is, it's admittedly progressive. The other is faking it. I'm referring to Clinton for that last part. And you get attacked by her supporters if you indicate that you are not interested in supporting her. And do I believe there should be a woman as president? Of course I do. If it were Warren, yes. If it were, again, if it were Nikki Haley, that's up in the air as well. I am not so. I want to break that glass ceiling that she talked about when she ran initially so badly. But it has to be with someone that we're electing for more than just their sex. That's what I keep trying to convey, and I get so tired of people claiming that it's the other way around. But back to the whole African American thing with the Democratic Party, I really don't get why so many. I think it just has to do with the fact that Democrats are kind of seen as the party of people who are in the middle class and poor and helping of the lower group. And, you have Republicans who argue that isn't the truth and they're not actually this. I'm not going to, dispute that. I'm not going to defend either side. All I'm stating is what I believe is the cause for it. But the reason I'm calling it into question is that on several occasions I've noted My peers, I'm 18. I have peers who are 17, 16, some 15 as well, and they are not as liberal as one might think. Some of them have outright stated they cannot get behind same-sex marriage. They think it is wrong. They think it is incorrect. And this isn't me attempting to say all people my age are this way, but I've seen them. I've been around other young black males, in particular, because there's this notion that males are more conservative than women traditionally, and I'm so far left, when it comes to these social issues. Again, we're just conveying that I don't understand how you can have someone who has those types of views and has this thing where they can't get behind a party that is similar to them in views. The only reason I honestly, because people always talk about Lincoln fret the slaves, and he did. The main thing that stops me from crossing over to the Republican Party is that my social positions are so far left. It wouldn't make sense. I really believe I have a legitimate reason to be with the Democratic Party, and that's why I don't call into question why I might stand with them or why I might vote for one of their candidates who has similar positions to my own. Now, there are several things that Republicans have that I'm interested in. Cruz was talking about abolishing the IRS and some new healthcare system. I'm more curious of seeing those come to fruition than anything else. And you have people who are warned against it. Don't do it. Don't vote for him. He'll ruin everything. That remains to be seen. And I guess I just have this curiosity to where I don't feel constricted to one party that makes me not want to align with just one and branch out, if you will. So if I've done anything in making this video, it's to say that I don't get how people can just align behind one party of a particular race when there are some people in that race who have values and views that are more like the opposing party. I don't get it. And I'm not trying to say every single African American who is supportive of the Democratic Party is just doing it because it's the flavor of flavor of the month, flavor of their lifetime, and they've been doing it for decades and for generations. But I am saying that if a person, if blacks who are pro-life and oppose same-sex marriage and support the death penalty, they're more like Republicans. They are not moderates. They are conservative. Those are conservative views, and there's nothing wrong with having those views, except opposing same-sex marriage. I will never understand that, but whatever. That is a right that people should have had decades ago. There's no reason to be against it. I will never understand that one. The other ones I get. So, oh my God, but again, I won't think someone's evil for having that view. So again, choose a party that represents your views. I'm siding with Democrats solely because of my social views. Even then, I am not so sold on this party to where I will blindly vote for every presidential ticket they put out. So all I'm getting at is just have an open mind. Have an open mind and realize that there are Republicans who are, in my opinion, good. You had Reagan. Ford was all right. He certainly healed the country after Watergate. And in modern times, McCain's an all right guy. Romney was okay. It comes down to the fact that we can't just see D if we're Republican. Oh man, no Democrat. If we see R, we're Democrat. Oh no, Republicans. You can't have that in a democracy. You have to have an open mind and go for the person who is for your views and arouses the curiosity that will cause you to vote for them. That's all I'm getting at, and that's all I hope people do. So I'm going to close this out. I've touched on most of the topics I want, and I just hope anyone who's taking the time to watch this has a good night and has a good day. and a better future. Thank you for your time, and see you.